Did a special or a documentary on it.
Yeah, that's great.
I haven't watched it
Because
yet.
I'm not stage of parent right now where.
Good afternoon and welcome to Monroe County
More so than I thought.
Industrial Development Corporation.
Yeah, it seems to have excelled.
This is the February 13th meeting, 2025.
Maybe after
And I
lost
want to
that
call the
insurance.
meeting to order.
Yeah.
We need approval of last month's meeting minutes, January 8th.
Oh, okay.
Second.
Where
All in
about?
favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is Kevin there?
It's just a minute, don't worry.
Go ahead, Kevin.
We'll bring you up. I'll let you know if there's anything important.
Thank you, thank you.
So I'm just gonna read off our January 2025 monthly report, covering our visits between the 1st and 31st of January. We made 5 monthly site visits during this period. We had 1 follow-up visit, check residency with 232 workers. We had 2 issues of non-compliance, both of which were no proof of ID, and there were no MCIDC signs delivered during that period.
Any questions for Kevin? Kevin, I can't see the spread, but you're welcome to it.
Alright, yeah, thank you. I'll jump in, man.
Financial report. Anna, you gonna do this here today? Is Greg there?
Yes, Greg is not here today, so I have some notes that, have been prepared for me. Financials are, I think they have been distributed, or Robin, thank you, Robin. So Robin's gonna hand these around.
Sorry. I meant to do that earlier.
Thank you.
Oops, sorry.
And the only item that I wanted to note is that cash is up,
Thank you.
primarily due to microloan reimbursement vouchers submitted, and interest income from banks is $1,250 for 1 month and $20,211 from our investments. And we hope to continue to move along in a positive direction. Let us know if you have any questions. If it's something that I can't answer or Robin and Allison can't answer, we can pass it along to Greg and get back to you in writing. But are there any questions about the statement of financial position?
Any questions for Anna?
All right, and that's it for the financial report.
Okay, let us move on. Barry, you're gonna introduce, this Jewish home moderation housing, bond transaction proposal?
Yes, thank you. This is a tax-exempt bond application for the benefit of Jewish Home Moderate Housing, Inc. They plan to construct a 4-story, approximately 90,000 square foot apartment building for independent senior living, about 90 units. On the sort of same campus as the other Jewish home facilities. They're requesting, are anticipating currently about 26 million in bonds with a not to exceed number of 29 million. They're projecting about 4 FTEs associated with this new project and looking to close currently potentially in early March. So this would be the authorizing resolution. We had the public hearing this morning. No one provided any public comments. Yes, that is correct.
Is the vice president there to speak on this?
Yes, Carly is here as well, and she can answer any questions that you have.
Any questions for Carly? Carly, why don't you take a minute and describe the project again? I didn't like how Barry described it. He didn't do it with enthusiasm.
I'd be happy to do that for you. Yeah, so as Barry mentioned, it is a 90 independent living, approximately 90,000 square foot building that'll be situated right on the Jewish Home campus. It will feature a community room, a full power generator. It will include, programming for seniors. We are looking for seniors age 62 and older. We do currently on our campus already have independent living, but it's through, CCRC, so if anyone's not familiar with those, there's only about 14 of those in New York State, and it requires a significant entrance fee, and it has a life care component. This product would not. This would be moderately priced rental units that seniors could move into, because we are finding that not everyone can afford that significant entrance fee. So we're finding that our continuum currently it's a gap. So we want to be able to offer more services to more seniors on our campus.
Any
When you
questions
say
for
moderately
Carl?
priced, like what range are you looking at?
So there'll be a mix of, it's about a third, one bedroom apartments, one bedroom with den, and two bedroom. And right now, the 2026, we're anticipating opening in 2026. The pricing for a one bedroom in our current model is $2,500 a month, and a two bedroom is $3,200 a month, which is comparable with other products that are currently offered in our market.
So the application shows the bond for 26 and then the total being 29 and 3 million of equity.
Yep, so Jewish Home Foundation, the board approved equity of $3 million towards the project. Yep. Yes. Yep, the Jewish Home Foundation board.
And if you don't need to go to 29, does that number, how's that work?
They've already given the $3 million in equity.
Okay.
Right.
So the bond is going
Correct.
Or I should say they've already approved the $3 million in equity, and that's, gonna be spent first. Yes. And all the,
Have you started already on this?
only site work.
That's the site work you can see when we drive past?
Yep, yes, we've only started site work. We did get all the approvals that we needed from the town of Brighton, already to start, obviously, in the building permit. Pike is the contractor, yes.
Have you all chosen your contractor yet?
Yep, the general contractor is Pike Construction, formerly Lasessi. They actually built all of the buildings that Jewish Home of Rochester has on our campus. So they have a long-standing relationship with us and are familiar with our campus already, yeah.
So is it fixed price or is it
It's a GMP, so guaranteed, maximum price contract, yes.
sounds good?
It's actually something that we brought in front of the town of Brighton back in 2015. So we're actually really excited to finally be coming forward to the board with it.
Congratulations.
Any other questions I can answer?
Is any more questions for Carl? Well, we look forward to seeing this, what's the next steps, Barry?
We need a resolution, to approve the issuance of the bonds. So a motion to approve up to 29 million in tax exempt bond financing for the Jewish Home Moderate Housing Inc. project.
Can I just ask one question?
Sure.
So our fees go $245,000?
1% on the first 20 million, and then 0.5% for the 6, so you're better at math than I am, but yes.
And so the legal is 81.6, right?
You're looking at the,
It's a third of whatever our fee is.
yes,
And then bond counsel is you guys also?
correct.
Gonna make a lot of money.
Yeah,
That's it, thanks.
okay. So, motion to approve up to 29 million tax exempt bond financing for the Jewish Home Moderate Housing Inc. project to construct, furnish, and equip a 4-story, 90,000 square foot building with 90 independent senior living units. Need a motion?
No motion. I'll be second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, that's approved. Thank you, Carly.
Not MCIDC related, but if your contractor hasn't got with RG&E yet, if you could have them do that.
They have.
Oh, perfect,
Yeah.
awesome,
We have, I see you guys next month for another project
Yeah.
too, that's been.
perfect, alright.
Yeah, thank
Just
you.
wanted to be on top of it.
Yeah, thank you.
Exactly.
We need to move to executive session. We've got a couple of goals that we have to discuss. I need a motion.
Motion?
Second? Anyone? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Tony? We need a motion to approve $1,100,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building and making renovations in the town of Webster and submit to the SBA.
Motion. Second.
Okay, you raised your hand twice. Did somebody second what you?
I got it, Russ, yeah.
Okay, all right. All in favor?
Aye.
Any abstentions? Okay, all right, that carries. Second motion to approve $106,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing and renovating a building in the city of Rochester.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
I abstain again.
Abstain again, okay. And then motion to approve a $340,000 SBA 504 commercial mortgage for the purpose of purchasing a building in the town of Pittsburgh and submit to the SBA.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor? All right, any opposed?
I abstain again.
Abstain again. All right, those carry. Anna, there's a report that you're gonna have Tony, report on here?
Yes, I'm sorry, the loan review, right?
What's the name of this report again?
The NAICS report.
The next report.
Yes, so I'm gonna ask Tony to review the NAICS report, and there's no action needed from the board.
Okay, and next report breaks down our loans based on categories. A few selected highlights. Again, it's a $27 million portfolio. Manufacturing companies have a balance of 11.8 million, 42%. Our healthcare companies, 3.3 million, about 12%. Professional, scientific, technical at 2.6 million, 9%. Construction companies, 2.1 million, 7%. Retail, $200,000 balance, only 0.7%. Should make the bankers happy. And I guess other services, as we take care of a bunch of different things, 4 million at 15%. Those total about 87% of the overall total.
Wow.
So our largest numbers are, manufacturing, and our smallest numbers retail.
Any questions for Tony?
I don't for Tony, but Barry, since this is customer information, should we do that in executive session, or is it okay to do it in open?
Since we're talking about category, we can, but we obviously should.
But their names are on the report, yeah.
Correct, yeah, no, this can't be public, the report itself. We shouldn't discuss those.
Which we haven't yet.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't hear any names, so that doesn't make it fair.
Yeah, no, I didn't say any names, just industries.
Is there any more business?
We got some
The
dashboards to look at.
dashboard, yeah.
All right.
So the loan dashboard in your packet is as of, December 31st, 2024. As of that time, 9 SBA 504 loans were approved by the board and 5 were funded in 2024. In the microloan program, 60 microloans were approved and funded since the program's inception, with a total dollar amount of $2,795,650 out the door. Of those, 42 were for minority or women-owned business enterprises, MWBE, with a total dollar amount of over $1.9 million. Looking at the incentive program dashboard, this is also as of the 31st of December. The Great Rate program is being phased out in 2025, however, we will still have payments going out for another 5 more years based on current agreements. The Great Rebate program is being revised as part of MCIDC modernization and now going to be called Equip Monroe. Credit to Connor Martin on our economic development staff for coming up with that name. The new application will become available in March and staff will begin a targeted marketing campaign and some promotion activities to local business owners and bankers. And so we'll be working with some of you on the board if we need some assistance with that outreach effort. The manufacturing rewards program is also being phased out and rolled up into that Equip Monroe rebate program. The Monroe on the Job program assisted 13 businesses in 2024 with a 50% reimbursement of third-party training programs. That program continues to come up during discussions with businesses when we're sitting down talking about incentives. It's always a popular program. The Monroe Manufacturing Jobs Workforce Development Program partnership with MCC and the Arc and Flame program has provided assistance to a small number of graduates in 2024, and we'll continue to keep that program going. But staff will be reevaluating our workforce development programs this year, as we discussed during our MCIDC modernization conversation recently, and we will be coming back to the board with some ideas and seeking your input as well. Are there any questions?
Can you just refresh my memory? How's the training program work? How's that?
Sure, the Monroe on the Job program. So if an employer let's say you're purchasing a piece of equipment and need your employees to be certified for the operation of that equipment, or you require safe training, an industry standard kind of training or certification.
So it's gotta be something that you can certify?
Right, we can cover 50% of the costs of that industry standard certification program.
So I can't use it for my sales force to train them?
Right, like Dale Carnegie training wouldn't qualify, but if it's a third party, certified certification or required, like for somebody to operate a certain type of equipment, that's covered in the program.
And we'll pay 50%.
50% of those costs, up to a certain amount. I think I'm looking at Robin.
4,000 per employee,
Yes.
16,000 per total.
Thank you.
16,000.
It's like a CDL license.
We've
Right.
only had one company actually hit that 16.
Forever.
Yeah, I
Thanks.
think 1 or 2 have hit that, but.
But that's the long and short of it on our dashboard. And I will toss it back over to our esteemed board president, Hanif.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you're ready to adjourn this meeting, you can. Is there anything else on the agenda?
No, sir.
Enough.
You guys were in Albany last week. Do you want to give us just a small recap?
Oh, sure, yeah, we just returned. Joe Sarah was there as well with, on behalf of RG&E. We were at the New York State Economic Development Council Annual Economic Development Conference. And it was really productive, more so focused on the IDA side of things, although like Pursuit Lending was there and, our counterparts in other counties throughout the state also, to varying degrees, have local development corporations like MCIDC. We took some good ideas away around, on the IDA side of things with Comida. I was a little surprised there wasn't more discussion about what, there's sort of chaos going on at the highest levels of government at the moment, and how does that impact us, but I think that's because we are still, grappling with that, you know, on a daily basis. You know, the SBA, like, for example, yesterday we were driving back from Albany and Allison was like, oh, it looks like they're getting rid of a lot of people at the SBA. She got like a Politico news alert. So those kinds of discussions weren't really happening, but it was more on the technical side. And it's always wonderful for us to see and connect with our colleagues from other parts of the state. I don't know, Joe, can I put you in the hot seat? Did you have any good takeaways?
Yeah, I mean, all the breakout sessions were really awesome. They're undergoing this economic competitiveness blueprint for New York State that is, being that I sit on the board, I have a little more insight. But it's going to really, I wouldn't say attack, but highlight the issues in the New York State's regulatory system that make economic development and projects extremely hard. Like some examples of that could be like the Micron project could end up falling behind schedule because the DEC hasn't approved certain things yet and they can't clear their land in time, and if they don't clear the land by April, they have to wait till October because the DEC put this bat on this species list now. So, but a lot of it's also the timeline associated with regulatory issues. So I think that's going to be really great. They did like 15 roundtables across New York State with different economic development partners, business leaders, developers. So that was great. The Fairlife Project got another huge shout out. Their CEO was one of the keynote speakers there. That was the project of the year that, you know, Anna and her team received an award for, myself and my team received an award for last year, but this they were finally able to actually give it to the Fairlife CEO. And then for me, it's just,
pardon my ignorance, but what is the Fairlife?
Yeah, so the Fairlife's the biggest economic development win in Monroe County. It's a $750 million, 1 million square foot facility in Webster, New York. So Fairlife is the fastest growing brand in America. It's the #1 dairy brand. Yep, in the food and bev side. It's gonna create
manufacturing?
Yeah, food and bev dairy manufacturing. It's supposed to create 250 jobs at a minimum. Last update we heard from Fairlife could be up to 500. That we had a big electrical infrastructure project with them that we've worked with the county on a Fast New York grant for New York State to help offset those costs. We provided a $5 million grant towards that project as well. The Fast New York was $20 million, and then Fairlife paid the balance. But huge construction jobs for Rochester, and it's going to be like, it likely can put New York State back at #1 as a dairy manufacturing state, which I didn't even know New York State was in the realm of being in #1 before Fairlife.
And that was a big discussion. The CEO said, you know, we looked closely at New York because New York State prioritizes and supports the dairy farming industry, and I understand farmers have already gotten orders from the company, so the ripple effects are going to be really transformational in the agribusiness side of things. The CEO and founder actually did some of his studies at Cornell, so patented some of the filtration technology at Cornell, so there's an interesting New York story there, but it was competitive with Pennsylvania. And to Joe's point, biggest win we've ever had in Monroe County, biggest project Comida has ever incentivized, and will certainly have major supply chain impacts on area small businesses. Gonna be a lot of freight, transportation impacts, packaging impacts, things of that nature, so.
And how is it
really
being
exciting.
financed by?
Coca-Cola owns Fairlife, so they have a lot of money, so there's that. And then Comida has is it a 15-year pilot, Robin, that we did? 20-year pilot, thank you, I lose count sometimes with the special pilots. So Comida's backing the pilot, and it's a huge project.
And if you haven't had Fairlife, it's the best milk you can have, taste-wise you can have. I drink their nutrition replacement shake every morning. It's 30 grams of protein and it tastes fantastic.
Yeah.
I could be a brand ambassador for this. Like, Fairlife is the reason I got promoted to lead the economic development team.
Be careful,
Like,
I'm hearing that there's an executive order to not milk any more cows. Watch your milk.
Pennsylvania and Ohio to get milk.
Yeah, they're gonna be taking, over a quarter of the total milk,
Yeah.
the fluid milk that's produced in New York State will be needed to, go to power this plant.
Yeah, 12.5 million pounds of milk a day, which I didn't know milk was measured in pounds, but apparently it is when it's the raw milk.
So I can expect my milk to go up in price for,
I don't think so.
I would expect everything to go up in
Well,
price
yeah,
based
I-
on what's going on
yeah.
right now, so
I mean, I
just,
just paid $22 for 3 dozen eggs this weekend, so.
yeah.
Hey, eggs are gonna cost as much as a pack of cigarettes, so. don't worry about it.
Thank you for that prompt.
All
though,
depends
Nikki.
if you
We're
wanna
glad to
quit.
share what's going on.
Okay, we need a motion to, adjourn this meeting.
so
See you
moved.
next month.
Second.
All in favor?